Like, you could start off with the girl comments like, "Oh my God, I love your outfit. That's so cute. Like, oh, we should go shopping together. Yeah, like, yeah, sure, anytime."
So this dude did that. And I guess he went to the sleepover with the girls. And they bought a cucumber from the store. And they was passing it around and they was giving it that sloppy top of that brain out. And he said, "I'm almost next. What do I do?" What's going on, y'all? Grind and Motivate. Back in this thing again, man, with another video. And today, we got your boy Sneako. He's in the crosshairs. And, you know, he's been making waves. He got the internet going nuts in these streets. He makes like 6 videos a day. I don't think he leaves his room at this point. I don't really know what's going on, but he's putting them videos out and he's churning them out. And because of that, every time I watch one video, Sneako automatically comes up in my algorithm. So Sneako, it looks like you have won. It looks like you won. You beat the algorithm. Whatever Andrew Tate taught you, you did it and you win it. But anyway, man, today we got Sneako in the crosshairs because he's debating some people that you may know. Kevin Ray Wilder is on the panel, and another dude playing with fire. I didn't know his real name, so playing with fire, and then like 2 other little random jokers. I don't know, it's 2 little ladies he was talking to, but it says Sneako versus 4 or 5 haters or something like that. And I want to see, you know, what are they saying? Why are they hating on Sneako? What is Sneako saying back to them? I'm pretty sure this is going to be entertaining. I'm pretty sure he's going to do his classic roast of calling somebody a bot and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, let's go and get to it.
Walmart Fresh and Fit.
I'm Walmart Tate.
Yeah, I was saying Walmart Tate. Yeah, not Walmart Fresh and Fit.
Okay, why am I Walmart Tate? And why were you asking me to come on your podcast, but now I'm Walmart Tate that I didn't want to be on?
Well, I want you to come on for a debate.
Debate about what?
A whole bunch of.
Name one.
Name one? I don't know, man. I think some of your beliefs are a little off.
Grifter. Out of here, bro. You know why he's mad? You know, always call me Walmart
I don't think you're a grifter. I don't think you're a grifter.
He wanted me to come on his podcast, and then I didn't want to go on because I had to go on Fresh and Fit. And it turns out they had beef, and so now you have to talk down on my name when I'm not in here. Walmart Tate, but I wasn't Walmart Tate when you wanted me on your show. That's all I got to say. What really do we even got to debate about?
That's not really true, dude. I just thought it was pretty unprofessional, like flaking multiple times in a row. I mean, I think as a YouTuber, there's like a professional courtesy thing, right? Which I think most YouTubers extend. So like flaking last minute after someone announces the event is like kind of like, I don't know, I think a shitty move.
I had other things to do.
Yeah, but don't you think it's a little shitty to like let someone make the event and then just flake last second? And then your excuse is like, oh, dude, they have more clout. Sorry, I don't know.
So I don't agree with flaking on folks, and you know, especially flaking on the last minute, because that's lame as hell. But if this playing with fire dude has been hating on Sneako the whole time and been, you know, dragging his name through the mud the whole time, saying, you know, you Walmart Fresh and Fit, you Walmart Tate, all this kind of stuff, why would I respect your time? Why would I even? But then again, as Sneako, why would I even be like giving you the hope that I might go get on the stream with you? I might do a debate with you. I might blow your channel up and have your spot looking good and hot.
But did you say you were going to join me on the live show? Did you agree with it and then flaked?
Yeah.
Yeah, then that's your problem. It's like, why would you even say yes if you were not planning on joining?
Right.
It just shows how immature you are. You don't understand what professionalism means. You don't have a very professional, I guess, behavior when it comes to YouTube. You probably don't treat it like a job. You treat it like a hobby.
But that's his only income, so he better treat it like a job.
I know, but he's a young kid, so he treats it like a hobby. It's like, I can just do whatever I want and say whatever I want. I still got clout. I still got followings.
But then you could also look at it. Yeah, this is not good. But he's probably like, oh yeah, he been hating on me and all this, and as soon as it's time to do it, I'm gonna just flake, and that's gonna hurt him bad.
Oh, if he's doing it on purpose, that just shows he has a terrible, I guess, what you call it, not personality, characteristics.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I'm gonna fuck you up on purpose.
I mean, but this other dude's been dragging his name through the mud, so what should he do?
You should still be fighting. I don't know if you should fight dirty, you know. You can just be like, yeah, hands on, let's debate. Let's see who is the smarter one, who's the more logical one.
Okay.
If you're a real man, a so-called alpha male, why don't you take on the challenge? Why are you running away like a so-called beta male?
Yeah. Sneako does claim to be the smartest in the land, so he should have just went ahead and debated old boy. But let's get it.
Yeah, I had to be on a bigger podcast.
So, but that makes you a clout chaser.
No, I know them. I don't know you.
You're basically saying I want to collab with people who are more clout. Clout is more important to me than my word.
No, not their clout. The fact that I know them, I've been on their show for months, and I don't know you, and there's less benefit to go drive out of my way to be on your show. And you can see the effect now. You calling me a clout chaser, but you're talking down on my name when I'm not in the call.
Well, yeah, because I can't get you on the call because you're flaking left and right.
I'm here right now, and you said you want to debate. What you want to debate about?
What I want to debate about? I mean, it is kind of last minute. I was going to go through your content and like write out ideas. I don't know. We can debate about. I think your take on politics is a little off. I think that you complain about the system a lot, but then your advice is like, well, I don't want to engage in the system. I don't want to vote. I think it's a waste of time. So I don't really think you have a leg to stand on complaining about the system if you're not willing to vote.
What do you think about that? I think to a degree it makes some sense because it's like no matter who you vote for or whatever, it doesn't really change. They're still going to do what they want to do. What do you think about that?
I feel like if you're just complaining about something, but you're not even willing to vote, which is honestly your only legal way of making a change, then you're just simply a whiner, like bitching about things you're not happy with, but not trying to change it. Then you're just a pathetic whiner.
So is that what you think about black folks?
Why would I think about that about black?
Because that's what a lot of black people have been saying. Like, no matter who we vote for, we're not going to vote for the Republicans because they're openly racist. But then you got the Democrats over here, like Joe Biden, saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this. If you don't vote for me, you're not black." You got Kamala Harris faking and flogging, acting like she's black.
I do understand where they come from. Like, we don't want to vote for any of the existing parties. They all suck. Then why don't you make your own party or have someone starting from scratch? You know, like if you're not doing anything to change the situation, this situation is just gonna keep on happening years and years after. And then, like, you are not doing anything to make it change. You're just complaining, unhappy about it, like being bothered all the time. And you're not making it any better, so just suck it up.
But so is it that easy to make another party, especially as black people?
Just if you're not willing to do anything to change it, just either suck it up and play with the current situation at your own benefit and try to kind of squeeze something out of it like everyone else is doing. Or actually go into politics and make a change out of it. I don't know.
I don't agree with that sucking it up. You know what I think.
What you think? Say it.
It shouldn't be said on YouTube.
No, because what you're suggesting is not realistic. That to me again is you're just saying it because it makes you feel good. But does it change anything? No.
It doesn't change anything. But it's the only way to get some straightening out here in these streets.
So are you gonna start doing it? Are you gonna do it?
I don't know. You gotta get a little training.
Then why are you saying it if you're not gonna do it?
You gotta get a little training.
It just makes you feel good at the moment while saying it. It doesn't make any change. Man.
Let me go. Let's go and get going.
No, I'm willing to vote in a state like Florida. That's why I moved here. But in New York, it means nothing because it's 99% Democratic and it's not gonna have any effect.
Yeah, but you're advocating, like when I watched your stream with, I forget who it was, but you were saying that like, oh, I think voting is a waste of time. I don't want to vote. I think it was a Destiny stream. You were saying, oh, it's just such a waste of time. I'm not going to go vote. And that's like, I don't know. I think that's like, okay, but then don't complain about the system.
Yeah, but politics and voting means you can only complain about the other side because you're pretty much saying that you agree with the other stance. I want to complain about all of it as a whole and critique the whole thing, not one side and not be I'm left or I'm right. Just the whole system is broken.
Yeah, I agree with you. The system is broken, but you're not going to fix the system if you're not going to engage in the system.
No, don't you agree that talking about the stream and talking to people with thousands of people live is way more effective than casting one vote in a state where it means nothing because of the Electoral College?
They're not mutually exclusive.
No, but saying that I can't talk about politics that I don't vote is pretty minimal because I have a voice that has way more power than most people when you have a stream. When you talk to people directly, you can have an influence that's much greater than just getting an I voted sticker on your t-shirt.
Okay, so I think the current situation in the US is like you're a single guy. You have two options in front of you. One is a female with a perfect body, great ass, but you find out that she's actually a transgender woman. And then the other option is another female. Well, she's a cis woman, but her body's very flat and she's gonna be, a desert, complete desert. And then, it's not gonna be no pleasure. Her breath stinks. She's bald, all that. So which one are you gonna choose? Like, you have to choose. Like, oh yeah, you can go like, oh, I'm not gonna choose any one of them. I'm just gonna,
I'm going on semen retention. What you mean?
Yeah, but then like you're not gonna.
I got it.
But you want a kid.
I want a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. But so I only have those are the only two choices in the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
That's a trash 2 choice. So obviously the trans person is out.
Right. So you have to pick the one that can actually fulfill some of your wishes, even though not all of your wishes, right? So you have to pick one out.
So
of
we
the
got to take
two.
the scraps. So we got to take the scraps while Biden goes and gives all the stuff to the Ukrainians and the Afghan folks.
So basically it's like in this situation.
But he gave us a Supreme Court woman who's black.
No, but my point is like, you don't like what's her name? Sneako said, like, I'm not gonna vote, and I'm gonna preach to my followers like the system is broken, so you don't vote. Nobody's gonna vote. But guess what? Trump supporters gonna vote for Trump and get what they want and be happy about it. So it's like, if you don't vote, it's fine. But it's like for the people that are actually gonna go vote, they're gonna get what they want.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna keep on being unhappy. So maybe you just have to find a better option out of the two sucky-suckies, which one's better for you?
I mean, the party thing you were talking about, I guess it's just going to be something that would have to be started from scratch. If we start an FBA political party, it would have to be started from scratch. But then you'd have to get all the white people on board. You'd have to get the Mexican folks, the Asian folks, and a lot of folks don't mess with
No, I'm just saying it's like if you start a party, right, and you get all the monies in check, it's going to take a long time. It's not going to be like you started it and boom, get voted right away. Maybe down the road, like 50, 60, 100, 200 years later, this party's going to do something.
That's too long. It's already been hundreds of years. We need some work now.
Yeah, you're talking unrealistic again. So this discussion ends here right now.
Right, but that kind of goes back to my issue with you is that you're encouraging apathy, basically. It's just like this kind of fatalistic mindset that everything's fucked, nothing is going to change. And on some levels, I agree with you that there are a lot of issues with the system. It's just that you're not going to change anything if you're not willing to take action. There's more things than you can do. Just vote. You can protest. You could donate to causes. There's like
what kind of protesting and don't? Whoa,
Alex,
whoa.
what are you saying?
Protesting?
Dude, I'm not saying I'm going to protest. I have better shit to do.
Petitions? Did you hear that echo thing?
I'm just saying there's shit you can do. And when you're just like encouraging apathy, saying like, oh, dude, like, no, nothing's
all right, man. You go protest for climate change and sign some petitions and donate to Ukraine, but that's just not going to do anything.
I'm not going to protest, dude. I got way better shit to do. I'm just saying you could.
So you said that because that's what makes people feel better and makes them feel like they're doing something. But ultimately, we know that's a giant waste of everyone's fucking time.
So you're saying engaging in politics in general in any way is just a waste of time?
Protesting is not engaging in politics. That's going outside when it's
okay. Take protesting aside. Just take like any kind of
petitioning.
What do you think?
I mean, I don't think I'm the smartest person to talk about politics, but I definitely feel like what Sneako said was dumb.
Okay.
It's definitely, I think, engaging in. Okay, so if you live in a foreign country and you have no right to vote, right? You're just living there and you see what's going on. Yeah, of course, you can talk shit about the country, about the system they have, and then just leave, like go to a different country. But the thing is, if you are currently living in the U.S., right, and then you are an actual citizen of U.S., and I feel like voting is, yes, it's your right, but it's also kind of like your citizen's responsibility. You have the responsibility to actually vote so that your opinion is being kind of like voiced. Even though it may not have a big of an impact as you think, I do feel like it will be a rippling effect, because if you think about it, you can vote for example, who's going to go into the Senate and everything, right? And that's going to impact essentially like when the Congress passed the bill and all that. So like I don't even know that because I don't have the right to vote because I'm not an American citizen.
Right.
But I just feel like if I do become one day, I'm gonna vote like all possible ways. I'm gonna do my research and I'm gonna be like, this is the person I want to vote for.
Yeah, you're gonna be an annoying person when it's time to vote.
It's not annoying because if you, as a Western country, as someone living in the States, you're condemning China of being inhumane, don't give people's right to vote, then why don't you vote? You have all the right, but you're still not voting. Then stop saying shit about China.
I think the U.S. just puts a mirage of giving us some type of power. Like it's like yeah, you voted and all that, but we still make all the decisions and everything. So no matter what you do,
I just feel like if you are not happy and you're not doing anything at all to change it, you're just talking online, and then a bunch of people agreeing with you, be like, yeah, fuck the USA, we suck, the government suck. Like you're really just promoting a very negative kind of vibe, and you're bonding over this kind of anger or annoyance.
He said he doesn't like democratic stuff. He said he likes the Trump type of stuff.
Oh, then you have a preference right there. Even though
so
you're
he said
saying
that's why he moved to Florida, so he could vote for Ron, the racist.
So he wants to be engaged in politics.
Yeah, he wants to be.
He is influencing his followers then.
Yeah. So,
I just don't think.
One thing that I found interesting that we're bringing up is we were actually previously. This is where I was fighting with Alex, was about Tate versus you. And they were saying that you agree with most things that Tate says. Is that actually true? Do you agree with like basically everything he says about like relationships?
I think where I disagree with him is when it comes to some parts of what he says about relationships. What you have to understand is that his movement is trying to empower men in a world which is actively trying to suppress masculinity. So a lot of what he says is trying to inspire men to become stronger and to take the lead in a relationship. But I pretty much agree with the stance about everything else. And inherently, I think a lot of guys do when they hear him talk. It's like, this is stuff I believe my whole life, but everything is telling me to not believe in this. And when they realize that he's saying what we deep down know, you start to see the brainwashing and you start to see how they try to pull that out of us.
Sneako, is there anything that you disagree with Andrew Tate on that you can name?
Off the top of my head, what about you? What's something you disagree with?
With Andrew Tate on? There's a few things. I mean, I think that he places way too much importance on material possessions. So he also indirectly encourages almost like a sugar daddy type of relationship where you're the girl's provider, you're paying for all her bills. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, but that motivates me to make more money and take control. I mean, I'm not a materialistic guy for the most part. I wear like simple clothes, stuff like that. I don't have a Bugatti. I just drive I got a Charger, you know. I'm not a material person for the most part. I like to have nice things. But I think a lot of that was for social media growth.
I'm out.
So Angie doesn't agree with Andrew Tate whatsoever. Andrew Tate could have the cure for cancer, and Angie wouldn't like it.
No, I'm just saying, if you look down on me because I stopped or paused my career to have our kid, then first of all, you're a terrible person. And second of all, I'm out. I'm out of here. Like, you don't get to look down on me because as a woman, I carried your baby.
But why would he be looking down on you?
Because
who
just
says
said
automatically looking down?
If he's the one making more money. But think about, why are you making more money? Is it maybe because I had to pause my career to have this baby and take care of him? If I didn't have your stupid kid, I will be making more money than you. Yeah, because if you say all this crap, you're a stupid person, and your kid must not be smart.
No, okay, so the dude was already making the money. He was already making the good money. You had the kid. He doesn't treat you like trash. He just hopes that you do well to the house and raise the kid. These are the kinds of agreement
couples need to have before they have the kid. Like, who's making more money? If I'm the woman, I'm making more money. You're the guy. Are you okay with staying home? No? Okay, then am I okay with staying home? Okay, yes, I am. So what you gonna do to earn more money? And vice versa. If you're the man that's making more money, right?
Yeah.
Do I want to stay home as a woman? Yes. Okay, it works out. If I don't want to stay home, what's going to happen? What's my career progression to the point that I can make enough money to support this family, because you will be spending some time to stay at home too. This is a very, I think, educated conversation that couples need to have. It's not a one way. Oh, you make more money. You work. I make less money. I'm a slave.
But I think
have to take care of everything.
That's where I think ladies just think of it so like just like finite, like, oh, I make more money. Like, they think of it like a caveman. They don't think about how the man really acts. I think whenever a lady thinks of that, they think a lady's getting treated like Medea.
That's what you
where
just
the dude
said.
is like whooping her and beating on her and all that because he's making the money.
If the man is the bread owner.
Yeah, no, but he's the let's think about it. He's the one who's going out here. He's running around here. He's getting all the monies and all that kind of stuff. He's not treating y'all bad at all. He's just out here all the time working and all that kind of stuff. So he doesn't really have as much time.
And the kid needs his dad. It doesn't make sense. If you want me to have this baby and you're not going to be present, so the baby growing up not really having any attention from his dad because he's so busy working, why are we even raising this kid? The kid's going to be broken.
I'm imagining it with some balance to it. Like the dad is home enough, but not home to the point where like he's always able to be there, you know.
And the dad disrespect the mom because she's making less money.
He's not disrespecting her.
But according to Andrew Tate, women's just a property. Women's just a tool. Women's just, a possession of his. Then he's looking down on the mom. So the kid's going to be like, oh, mom is worthless because she stay home.
Okay.
Like, why are we having this stupid kid then?
I mean, I wouldn't be thinking of it like that, but I guess I can understand what you mean on that one. Let's get it.
So there's a couple things about you that I really like that I don't think Andrew Tate has. One of the biggest ones that I really appreciate about your content that I don't see in Tate is you engage in what I call epistemic humility, right? When we had our conversation, you talked a lot about how you don't know the answers, you don't always know the answer to everything, and you're pretty open and honest about that, whereas Tate basically comes in and he's acting like he's at the end on the other side, and like he knows all the answers, he knows everything that's true, like he's the top G, and like speaks with authority on his prescriptions for everything. So that's one thing that I think is different in more of your style of engagement than it is about like your rhetoric. Another thing that I've noticed that's really unique about you that I realized in our humanizing conversation is Tate typically describes the ideal man as a very rigid one thing, typically like a very traditionally masculine, highly stoic, like provider, leader, etc., etc., etc. Whereas you seem to have a broader range of what you include for men. For example, you and I talked about emotionality and artistry. I don't think Andrew Tate has ever really talked to me about men engaging in art or engaging in like the emotional pieces that are reliant on art, which I think is a really unique piece that you bring of showing like masculinity can include these pieces.
Right. Yeah. I think they're different people, but my initial point was that Sneako agrees with like every single Andrew Tate position, but they are different people. They live their lives differently. They're different ages. Andrew Tate is in the late 30s. Sneako, correct me if I'm wrong, you're in your early 20s. Yeah. I mean,
I talked about that with Tristan on my last stream. I was trying to talk about like artistry and stuff like that. And I've been thinking a lot about this subject, and I'm wondering like how much it has to do with just how much testosterone you have. Like, for example, Destiny's a really smart guy, and I think the reason that his position on the world is the way it is maybe he's just less masculine than a lot of guys. You could probably assume that like if he had to balance out the estrogen and testosterone level, maybe he's at like 60%. Maybe the reason that I'm here on your stream, Kyle, talking about like emotionality and artistry is maybe I'm like 80% masculine and I have like 20% the feminine side. That's why I talk about love. Maybe guys like Myron on Fresh and Fit or Tate or the guys who are just like, fuck bitches, get money. Maybe it's like more testosterone. Maybe it's 95% compared to like 5%. Maybe you could just boil it down to that. Maybe it's not worldview. It's just what you are as a person.
So I saw you making a face and didn't look like he was too pleased about what he was saying. What you think?
I just have a very interesting thought because, scientifically prove that if you work out on a regular basis, or maybe if you work out daily, you run, you lift, and if you work out kind of like excessively, it lowers your testosterone level, right? So is he saying that for people that are actually fit and they have a great workout habit, because their testosterone level might be lower, they're all less masculine? They're beta?
Nah, he's not saying. Where did you get that from? He's saying people that
he's talking about testosterone level.
I think he's saying people that's more like balanced have less testosterone and they're more beta. Like he thinks somebody like Destiny would be beta. Destiny's the guy that we were watching where, Sneako was championing the racist dude, and Destiny was like, well, why would you say that? Why would you say that? And Abba said that. He says Abba's also like a less testosterone individual because he tries to have too much balance, which is, I think you should have balance, and I think you just can't go to one side. Like, I think Sneako went to one side too far.
That's why he's acting like irrational kid on live stream all the time,
right? Because
he has that impulse.
Yeah, maybe
that's something with the frontal lobe, not with the testosterone. I don't know, man. It's science. I don't have any.
Yeah, but he says if you it sounds like he's saying if you have any type of soft spot for anybody, or if you do anything that is besides punching folks in the face and driving fast cars and busting women, you are a hoe. So basically, if you do art, bitch. If you do, you play video games, bitch. I mean, you could argue that Sneako might be bitch because he sits in his room all day and does live streams. All you do is talk on YouTube. Is that really a masculine thing? Or is that less of a testosterone thing?
I would say a lot of criminals that's locked up, they might be very masculine then. They might be very high testosterone level.
Why?
Because they act on impulses, It's like...
So it's stupid altogether, but let's go.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense, though. If that's the case, then guys on steroids are just going to be...
Yeah, then I would be like ultra masculine.
Yeah, exactly. So that means Alex is like the most masculine man of all time.
It's also strange, right?
Alex, do you talk about sensitivity or anything?
Yeah, from time to time. I mean, I'm definitely not as far on that spectrum as like Andrew Tate is. I mean, I'm not like soft either, but I do talk about having emotional connections, being able to open up and stuff like that. Yeah, I do talk about that.
See, this is what I think is interesting, right? But like, I would say basically that you, Sneako, are more correct about what men can be than Tate is. For example, like you might say yeah, they're 100% like of the mask and has 0% of the femininity. And I would argue that's probably their problem, right? Like, even if you look at like some of the great, like look at like the Spartans, like look at some of the most like giga-chad historical men. They were oftentimes very concerned with aesthetic, right? They were very poetic, artistic, oftentimes like engaged in horse riding. So all these things that nowadays that we would want to like dismiss as being like soy or beta or feminine, like these like alpha men were engaging in. And so I think like mostly what's happened is Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate are buying into like an extremely shallow version of like what men can be.
Do you think you're calling it a problem? Is it a problem or is it just the way they are?
I would say it's a problem because I think that they could be more than that. For example, Andrew Tate used to be his dad is a chess master. And he used to play chess too. There's nothing that's hyper masculine about chess, right? And that's fine, by the way.
No, it is. Girls don't play chess.
Sure they do. I mean, like the greatest chess masters.
That's to the Botez twins.
Yeah, like of course they do.
There's no female chess grandmaster.
Okay, but Sneako, nobody in high school looks at the like nerdy dude playing chess and goes like, "Wow, what a giga chat! I for sure want to."
You have to move to a king with a very masculine type of presence. You have to be like,
okay, when you think of a chess club, do you think of a sorority or do you think of a bunch of dudes? No matter how nerdy they look, is there any girls in the chess club when you picture them in your head?
Yeah, so I don't really necessarily agree with that. I don't think it's beta to be out here playing chess, but I don't think it's like a hyper masculine thing. I'm not running around here seeing the most super masculine guys being chess masters or anything like that. So I don't really agree with that. I think your intellectuals might be up to par, your logic and all that might be up to par, but I mean, that's about it. I think a woman can compete in chess. What do you think?
Yeah, I think if you're good at chess, it might show you're a very calculated person, right? You can see what's upcoming, or you have to kind of like forecast what your opponent's gonna do.
Yeah.
So that make you good at being like in a strategic way.
Yeah.
So I can see like business-wise, that might make you a good business person.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a successful businessman, in a sense, that could make you attractive in the dating market, but it's not like a given like fact. It's not like, what's the word? Cause and yeah. I'm thinking about Chinese right now. I can't think of English. Too late.
Terrible. You better get in gear. Get in gear, lady. Get in gear. We got a couple more minutes on this video. You hear me?
Yeah.
Get in gear.
But back to the initial question. So Sneako, so you could not think of one thing you disagree with Tate on, like in terms of his positions and philosophy?
I don't like how he says, I'm one of God's favorites. I don't like that. And I talk to Tristan a lot about God and like our position on religion. And sometimes I wonder how much people believe in, and Jordan Peterson says something that I think sums up my point of view on this. He says that he doesn't really believe in God, but it's better for him to follow that for most people. And I think people like Jordan Peterson recognize the influence they have. And maybe when you get to a certain level, you realize that a lot of these people probably don't even believe in God, but they realize that it's better to spread that message for the vast majority of people that listen to their videos. And I'm finding myself with a similar position right now because I have a lot of religious people that watch me. And I always talk about God and how like it's good to follow God, but I struggle even believing it fully like the religious people do. But I do find it's better to follow that and to follow God's rules. And so I wonder...
That doesn't really make sense. It sounds kind of bot-like if you ask me. What you think about it?
maybe it's because my English is not good, but I kind of feel like he contradicted himself.
Okay.
So he was saying how he doesn't like when, I guess, a YouTuber just talk about certain things because they think their followers is gonna like it or listen to it. And then he talked about how he has a lot of followers that's into Christianity, so he talks about follow God, even though he has a hard time believing it or buying to the idea. So it's like, if you're not really buying it, why are you preaching it, or why are you saying it?
Botany Street, that's what it is. He just wants to. So he doesn't like that people talk about like Democratic talking points or left-leaning talking points, and he feels like they're biased. But he's, I guess, going on the right-leaning talking points, but on Christianity and family, and the man is the man of the house, and all this kind of stuff. You're not masculine if you're not busting hoes and rocking eyes. He's one of those kind of guys. So I mean, and do you think that it's kind of bot-like to follow religion just because you need something to believe in, I guess?
That's another term that he always says, bot-like, which I don't understand what he means.
So basically, like, you know, when you're playing video games and you have the things that you actually control, and then you have the other things that are running around and they're not controlled by anybody, the computer, just the AI. Yeah.
Here's the thing: if you believe in this whole like conspiracy theory where we're all like not, I guess, woke, we're just bots, you're buying into the conspiracy of all those people that want you to think that this world is run by conspiracy. Does it make sense?
You got me Patrick out over here. I'll turn into Patrick.
No, I just feel like any belief out there, there are some people trying to spread it and controlling it. Yeah. So with whichever idea or conspiracy you want to fall for or believe in, you're actually falling into certain people's agenda or plan, regardless. There's always agenda out there.
So you're a bot no matter which way you go.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
So you got to have balance at the end of the day, to be honest. You got to be balanced.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
People like Tristan and Andrew are talking a lot about God because it's just like what you're supposed to say in that masculine position, and then how much they really believe it. Because when Andrew says, like, I'm one of God's favorites, that's a sin. That's a sin, because you're made in God's image. God wouldn't have a favorite. That makes no sense.
I mean, I would say it's pretty hypocritical. I have no problem with saying anything about a God if they're religious, but if you don't believe in God and you're saying that, oh, you know, God is awesome, like, that's kind of hypocritical. That's like saying, like, oh, don't fuck with dating apps, but you're on Tinder like every night.
Yeah, but there's a balance between recognizing something is wrong or recognizing something is bad, and then also partaking in it. It's like, I'm not going to tell anybody to do cocaine, but I've done cocaine before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't tell people and encourage people to do it, but you can also partake. Does that make sense? But that's basically where I disagree, is that I can see a level of ego in Andrew that I personally don't have. Like, yes, I think highly of myself, but I would never think like and say I'm one of God's favorites.
Do you not like him saying that just because it sounds like really cocky, or because you don't actually believe in God?
I think it's the first part. It's the cocky part. I don't think God would pick favorites, and I think that's you. That's literally you thinking that you're better than other people.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
which I understand can be earned based on accomplishments and achievements, but I don't know. I don't think. Hopefully.
Okay, so I have to give Sneako credit here, because I think by saying that God picks no favorite, Andrew Tate is being kind of like, you know, arrogant, thinking he's better than everyone else. Sneako gave the politically correct answer. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's what he really thinks, but that answer gets an A++ from me.
All right, let's get it.
I never get to the point where I think that I'm that much better than other people.
I mean, my understanding was the reason he says that is just like bravado. He's just kidding. I didn't know he actually said that like seriously. I would speculate that he's just saying that just to like fuck around. But I guess I can't say what's inside his head.
Yeah.
Well, then what do you disagree with? Like, you're calling me Walmart Tate because I don't disagree with them. And it's not like I follow everything they say. It's just something that's how I realized that I align with them so much. I started reacting to their videos at first when I found out about the Ethan Decline drama. And then I'm like, well, yeah, I agree with this. I agree with this. And then when I started talking to them, it's like, I agree with pretty much everything. It's not like I'm copying and pasting their videos. It's just, this is stuff, I think the stuff that they're saying is stuff that we all inherently know as men, but the matrix suppresses out of us.
Yeah, I mean, that was mainly meant to be a joke. The point I was trying to make was that the Tates are like I don't know, like, you know, they're very financially successful. I'm sure you do okay for yourself, but you're still like very young in your career. So like they're like, you know, the Bugatti and you're kind of more of like the whatever, like the sedan car, right? Because you guys believe in the same shit, but you're not like as high up as them in terms of like finances and cloud and all that.
Okay, so Sneako and Andrew Tate, I guess they both talk about how men are being emasculated.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? What do you think is suppressing them? What's taking away their masculinity?
I don't know. I think society is just it's a bunch of hoes. Goddamn, that's really what I think. Like
what does the society do to men?
Like it's just like the way they're pushing all these different things. You got the LGTB agenda. You got transgenders. Think about the video we just did, the reaction on that.
So that man, or a man decided that he wants to be a transgender female, right? Yeah. How does that take masculinity away from the rest of the community?
Because it didn't used to be as widespread as it was. It used to be like you might see one of them jokers here and there every now and again, but now it's all over the TV, plastered everywhere, all over here.
But that's because they didn't want to be a man in the first place. So those people should not be belonging to the men's group. But for the men that still want to stay straight, or the men that still want to stay as a man, their masculinity should be intact. Why is it taking away from them?
Okay. So it's like you should have already been a man in the first place, so it shouldn't really matter what these other folks have going on.
Yeah. So it's like you're separating dogs from cats, right? Yeah. These cats mix into the dogs group. Yeah. So now you're just separating them to make sure dogs are in the dogs group, cats are in the cats group.
Okay.
And also the way they're talking about, I think another thing I disagree with Andrew Tate is about mental health. I feel like for a man, especially because the society tells you to be strong, to suck it up, to hold your tears, show no emotions, suppress all that. Yeah. For a man to be able to acknowledge that he has weakness and he's willing to seek for help, I think that shows how strong he is instead of how weak and, you know, feminine he is. I think that's a very strong trait to say, I actually need help somewhere. Yeah. So that's another thing I disagree with him.
Okay. So it's basically the attack on masculinity is like, they out here pushing that stuff, but you shouldn't have been a hoe anyway, basically. You should be out here handling your business, working out, handling your finances, being strong or whatever. I don't know. Like,
these things should be taught by your parents,
right?
In my opinion. So it's not something that Andrew Tate's bring out in men. Yeah. And as men or women equally, you should be taking care of yourself, your financials, your body. It's not just catering to men. Like, you know, like the things he taught, like men needs a strong support group. Women needs it too. It's not just like men. So it's not bringing out masculinity. It's bringing out, you know, like a decent human being. Okay. So I don't know why men feel so like attacked. Maybe they grew up without parents that actually taught them that. You know, maybe they were looking for a father figure from Andrew Tate.
The parenting game ain't hitting out here in these streets, and a bunch of men really on the low ain't really hitting for nothing. They really ain't tough. They lazy, all that. So yeah, I mean, I can feel that. I feel at the same time they're trying to, you know, further suppress it, but a lot of folks, you know, you should have been there already, or your parents should have taught you that. It should already be in you.
Women don't have game.
I think a woman's highest level of game is she has game and she makes the man think that she doesn't have game. She's just all genuine and sincere. But actually, she is manipulating the man into believing that she is like this. She has no game. Okay. That's my thought.
Yeah, okay. I think women got the most game. I think they be playing the most games out here in these streets. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like, but at the same time, I think he means like women aren't willing to come up and approach you or say anything. But women do have game. They're sneaky and
we're not just subtle. Like, hey man, want to come out a day with us? You know, like we're not.
Yeah, she has enough game to be tricking you, him, and him over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I would say women have game, because if they're not able to be masculine and strong and all that kind of stuff, they gotta have that mouthpiece on them to mess with the man's thumb screw, as the 48 laws of power say.
And if you think about why there's so many men cheating on their spouses, right? It's because, first of all, those women that made you cheat has game. Second of all, well, maybe just men are weak-minded. So, you know, both combined together.
Yeah, I think it's combined together. Yeah, it's a little weak-minded. This one is a little game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but let's get it.
If I'm a woman pursuing another woman, should I pursue her in the way a man would?
No, I think you have an advantage in not pursuing like a man. I think you can pursue like a girl where like you could start off with the girl compliments like, oh my God, I love your outfit. That's so cute. Like, oh, we should go shopping together. Yeah, like, yeah, sure, anytime. And then she's not really like in tune that you're really trying to game her. And then by the time you're out like hanging out, then it turns into a date just magically like girls do.
So if this is true, then guys should just approach girls as a gay guy, you know, with no sexual tension or anything, and be like, hey sister, let's go shopping, you know, like be friendly with them, and then, you know, seem so different from all the other straight guys that just want to get into their pants, and then be like, hey, you know what, actually I want the same thing. But like, no, that's not gonna work, because if they see you as a gay guy or they see you as a friend, they're not gonna put you back into the, you know, like I want to be with. So I think,
you know what's really funny about that? So there was this meme or this story, I don't know if it's a real story or not. So this dude did that, and I guess he went to the sleepover with the girls, and they bought a cucumber from the store, and they was passing it around, and they was giving it that sloppy top of that brain out. And he said, I'm almost next. What do I do? So they was sucking that thing off, and they was like, hey man, what can you do, Johnny? So I guess that's a bad way to go. It's bad. So first you had to emasculate yourself first to even do it.
If I'm that guy, I'm gonna eat that cucumber and be like, I hate men. They suck. You know.
Or I would have been just like, man, I gotta go to the bathroom, goddamn. And then I probably would have just snuck out the house. But yeah, I think that's it for the Sneako video, man. How y'all feel about Sneako's talking points? How do y'all feel about what we were saying? What do you think about all this, man? If you watched up to this point, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.